check out BigBadToyStore.com for this and other great toys. Wait a second. How is he evading anything? He's a giant freaking robot! Not exactly subtle.
Hey, what's up YouTube land? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and today we will be reviewing the Transformers Age of Extinction Voyager class Evasion Mode Optimus Prime. So here we are, and there he is, and first and foremost, as always, we'll take a quick look at the packaging. So here it is, get Optimus Prime all like, I'm evading stuff, I don't know. Hey, this is from a movie, Transformers. On the back, you have your obligatory product shots and your bio if you want to read it. And that is basically it. Ion Cannon! That's basically it for the packaging. So moving right along, here we have Optimus Prime in his evasion mode, which looks a lot like G1 Optimus Prime. Now in the movie, this is the state in which Mark Wahlberg's character finds Optimus. Of course, he doesn't realize it's Optimus until he sticks some jumper cables on him, and he's like, I think we found a Transformer. But, yeah, but obviously in the movie, the cab is all rusted out and dinged up, and this is totally in G1 color, so not exactly screen accurate, but what are you going to do? But it still looks cool. It's still a nice homage, a nice, you know, nudge, nudge, wink, wink to the fans, to the G1ers. So, you know, I do appreciate that. And it looks really cool. And it's a very cool figure. Definitely a cool figure. Getting close here. Some nice molded in details. Got the rivets going on here. Lots of nice molded stuff here. Got some silver going right across the cab with some tampoed Autobot symbols right there on each side. Nice silver paint here on the grille, on the front bumper, on the side view mirrors. Also got some silver trim around the windshields, although it doesn't quite line up the way you want it to, but you can't really fix it, kinda, sorta, but it doesn't really stay, but whatever. Not the end of the world. You do get the nice transparent windows. Unfortunately, you can kind of see some robot stuff behind it, but, you know, what can you do? Maybe they could have used a different color transparent plastic, but it's alright. And you got the headlights here painted up in silver. And, yeah, very nicely done. Got the single smokestack here, which is actually screen accurate. Trailer hitch back here. The only real problem with this figure is just kind of the lack of paint, because there is a lot of molded in details that's not picked out in paint, and you'll see a lot more of that in robot mode, but still, it's a very nicely done out mode. Rolls very well. And, yeah, it just looks really, really cool. A nice, you know, homage to G1 Optimus Prime. And I really dig that. Now, he does come with an accessory. He comes with this gun right here, which is very nicely detailed. Nice molding going on. And it does fire a missile. You just push the button and pew! Just fires a missile right there. And if this looks familiar in any way, and it should, you'll realize that this is actually, it's not Optimus Prime's gun. Well, I guess it is now, but this isn't Optimus Prime's gun. Originally, this was Dark of the Moon Megatron's gun. Yes, this is Dark of the Moon Meg's gun. And if you happen to have this guy right here, Dark of the Moon Megs, you'll notice that, hey look, there's a slot right there in the palm of his hand. And on each side of the handle here, there is a tab. So what you can do is, you can take this gun and slot it into his hand. And now Dark of the Moon Megatron finally has his shotgun. And I like how the finger even goes into the trigger. That's awesome. So now he finally has the accessory he should have come with in the first place. It only took 2 years. But now Dark of the Moon Megs is complete with his shotgun. And that's really cool. And he can store it. And you see here there are posts on either side. If you want, you can just take it, plug it into the MechTech port on his back, and there you go. And that is awesome. That is awesome. So not only, excuse me, not only is this a cool figure, but it also kind of serves as an upgrade kit for your Dark of the Moon Megs. Why not? Dare I say, why not? That's very cool. A very cool feature. Now, of course, there is storage for this gun. In this mode, you can see there's a port right up here at the top of the cab. Plug that in, and yes, it looks ridiculous. Of course. Of course it looks ridiculous. What else would it look like except ridiculous? But what are you going to do? There are also ports on either side here. If you want, you can take them, plug them in here, but that also kind of looks really ridiculous. The one way that I found that looks less ridiculous, the least ridiculous, is if you take it, how did I have it? If you use these side pegs here, and you plug it in like that, and just kind of put it at an angle, I found that this is the least ridiculous way to store the weapon. Still looks ridiculous that he has a giant shotgun just hanging out back there, but I find that it's the least ridiculous way to store it. So, there you have that. Now, for comparison, here we have the Hunt for the Decepticons, Voyager Optimus Prime, which is an amazing figure. Probably the best Voyager movie Prime toy that we've gotten. This figure is amazing. So you have him with that, just so you can see how they measure up. Right there. So you have that. Here he is with the Dark of the Moon, Optimus Prime mold, Voyager class. Again, so you can see how they stack up. There you go. And this is like the evil Murder Prime repaint that I really love. Because he just looks evil with that paint scheme. So, there you have that. But yeah, oh, one more size comparison. Here he is with G1 Optimus Prime. You can see how they look together. And that's pretty darn close, size-wise. That is almost identical. This one's just a little bit taller, really, but they're almost practically the same size. That's scary. Scary. So there you go. But yeah, really cool figure. And now we'll get down to robot mode, shall we? Let's. So, first thing you want to do, you want to take the smokestack here and just fold that down like that. Then you're going to come in here, you're going to flip up this panel right here. You want to flip that up. You want to untab these halves right here and bring these panels up, which will have the arms in them. Untab that. Gimbal. Bring that up. Take these panels here, swing them out. So you have your clearance. And then you're going to come in here. You want to untab these side panels here. Gimbal. There we go. And you're going to take this whole front assembly here, take it and bring it down. And you can take this little piece of the grill here, rotate that, and now these faux smokestacks will be sticking out of them like that. Once you got that all done, you're basically going to take, this is the part that gets a little tricky, you want to take this and just kind of pass it through, just for clearance sake. Now you want to take these side panels here, and you want to rotate them. Helps if you bring the arms down a bit more, like that. Rotate these panels all the way around, just like that. Bring that arm down. So you have your clearance. Rotate it all the way around, like so. You can bring the legs down now. And you're going to take this whole assembly here, bring it around, and bring this down up against the body like that. Raise things up a bit so you can see what I'm doing. Then you're going to take this whole assembly here and bring this up, and this piece will actually just feed right through this gap right there. Bring that up and bring it over his shoulders like that. And then these panels will tab in to these slots right there. Just take it, tab it in, close up the chest. Bring the arms down, take these panels here, flip those down, like that. Split the legs, bring down the feet. Actually, you see there, it's this whole portion here will rotate like that. Then flip the foot out, and again, just rotate that whole portion. Bring the foot up, and there you go. There you have Evasion Mode Optimus in his robot mode. And he looks really cool. And it's amazing that they actually got movie Optimus Prime out of the G1 cab. That's just... Oh, I forgot one thing. Boop. Boop. There we go. Almost missed that. Sorry. But yeah, it's amazing how they got movie Optimus Prime out of the G1 cab. That's amazing. You know, the science behind it eludes me. I don't know how they did it, but it's some kind of weird, crazy magic that's happening here. And I really dig it. It's a very, very cool figure. And we'll get in close here on the head sculpt. Very nice head sculpt. Looks really good. Nice details, nice paint. He's got some good light piping too, which is very nice. His eyes glow nicely. And you can see, you know, all the movie Prime design cues are there. He's got the, you know, the smokestacks here, which aren't painted, unfortunately. These things right here, the way that the chest windows line up, you know, just pretty much all of the movie Prime cues are in this robot mode, and it's just really amazing. And like I said, the only real thing that this figure suffers from is just the lack of paint. I mean, there's so much molded detail. Again, like with the smokestacks, with these things, a lot of stuff here. I mean, there's a lot of molded in stuff right here under his arms and whatnot, and just tons of stuff, tons of molded in detail. His feet should be painted, and they're not, you know. So the only real negative about this figure is just the lack of paint. But otherwise, it's a tremendous looking figure. Now, articulation wise, his head can, he actually can look all the way up, pretty much. You can be all like, squirrel! You can do that. And he can actually look down because his neck is on a hinge here. So you can look down pretty much into his chest. Where's my matrix? Is it there? I can't tell. Yeah. You can rotate his head. So you get your rotation, you get your up and down movement. No real side-to-side movement. But the arms can do a full 360. Then go in and out, a little ratchet joint. He does have a bicep swivel. The elbows are kind of weird because this joint here basically serves as the elbow joint, but yet you can see the elbow proper is actually molded into this angle. So really his arms are supposed to stay at this angle here, but if you wanted to, you can bring it down. It kind of disjoints things a little bit, but if you want the arm straight, you can do it. But it's really molded to be at an angle like that, which is kind of weird, but not the end of the world. He does have wrist swivels, but they're very, very tight and very hard to turn his hands. You kind of do have to take the gun and plug it in to be able to rotate his hands, but he does have wrist swivels. He does have a waist joint. The legs can go forward, they can go back, they can go in and out. And one cool thing is the fact that these wheels here, you would think they would totally get in the way, but no. They're on their own hinge. They actually will move out of the way to accommodate outward leg movement, which is awesome. He does have a thigh swivel. He has a nice range of movement there on the knee. The feet can pivot up and down. The only thing that bugs me is that this piece doesn't really lock in any way securely, so sometimes when you're moving the foot, you kind of move his whole shin. So I wish that locked in, but it's okay, not the end of the world. But the foot can pivot up and down, and you do get a little bit of an ankle tilt. So he's got some pretty good posability. And of course now we'll give him his gun, or Meg's gun anyway. And there you have him. Again, very cool figure. Like I said, the only thing he really suffers from is the lack of paint, but this guy is awesome, just simply awesome. Now for comparison, here he is with the Hunt for the Decepticons Voyager Prime. So you can see how they stack up, and they're basically the same heights, pretty much. So there you have that. Here he is with the Dark of the Moon, Evil Demon Prime mode. The Voyager mold. So you can see how they look together. He's a little bit taller than Demon Prime. And just because he's here he is with Dark of the Moon Megs. You can see how they look together. A little bit taller at the head than Megs. Here he is with his wave mate, Grimlock. There he is with Grimlock. You can see, pretty much even there with Grimlock. Pretty much. And here he is with G1 Prime, just because. Just so you can see how they look together. And one more. Here he is with the Leader Class Prime. So you can get a sense of how that works. So, there you have it. Now, as far as this figure goes, you know, for the past couple of reviews, I've basically just summed it up as, if you like this, buy it. If not, you save some money. Honestly, this is a figure I will wholeheartedly recommend. This figure is really, really cool. This figure is just, it's amazing. Again, I love how they got movie Optimus Prime out of the G1 cab. And that's just awesome. This is an amazing figure. Definitely worth your time. Like I said, the only real knock against it is just the lack of paint. And, you know, the Takara version is going to fix that. The Takara version has a lot more paint going on, and it does look a lot better. I don't know if I'm going to pay the premium for some extra paint, but it does look really good. So if you want, you know, the extra paint, then you could go the Takara route. But otherwise, this is a figure that is definitely worth having. Definitely. It is just a really, really cool figure, and I'm really happy with it. I think so far, this is like the one of the best figures out of this Age of Extinction line, and you know, definitely a highlight of this line. Definitely worth picking up. So I think that's pretty much it. So don't forget to check out EmGames, check out Lori Plan, follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff down in the description below. And I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So there is the Transformers Age of Extinction Voyager class Evasion Mode Optimus Prime. And this is EmGo's saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old because you stop playing. Be geek, be proud. Palm in your face. Where did Grimlock go? He has to be around here somewhere. Yeah! Oh, God! Oh, Grimlock! Grimlock, what are you doing? Me, Grimlock, want to see how you like it. Get off me! Get off me! Go ahead, ride Optimus Prime! Ride into battle! No, you're really freaking heavy. Get off me! Get off me! See, not too fun, is it? God, get off me! Seriously, this isn't funny. I'm supposed to ride you, and you're not supposed to ride me. Hey! Ride along, Optimus Prime. I've been looking everywhere for this. Thanks a lot. Why are you doing this? Really, my back is starting to hurt. Giddy up, Horsey Prime, giddy up.